Okay, so now we have to take our dowel pins. These are a little bit different, so we have to put them together first. These are old school dowel pins. So we need nine of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we have our pins, our dowel pins here. We have our glue. This is just regular crazy glue. And then we have any kind of like little dispensers, like little wells in it. This is really helpful. So we're going to put some glue out. And we're going to assemble our pins. As I showed you before, these are little plastic pieces that go over these pins. These pins also have anti-rotational factors here. And then we have the little rubber stoppers that go over the top. This just prevents the pins from pulling out too easily and falling on the ground while you're working with them. Okay, so let's assemble all of them first. Have to make sure we have at least 9 because that's what we need for this model. Now with crazy glue, the best way to store it is in the refrigerator. If it's not stored in the refrigerator, it's gonna go bad very fast. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now we have our lines here. So what we have to make sure is that these anti-rotational little attachments line up with our lines, because this way when we end up cutting the dies, we won't cut into these little plastic ears. You see, when you're cutting straight down like this, these, if they're off like this, then when you're cutting with the saw blade, you're going to end up cutting into here, if it's like this, and you end up cutting it off, and then you lost your anti-rotational factors. So we must put it in like that and just line it up with your lines, because that's what our planning does. This way you can't go wrong. So what we do now is we take each one of these and we dip them into the glue, and then we put it in the model, lining it up with the lines. so we can dunk it a little bit better. Alright, that's better. Just make sure that everything is seated correctly so that the pins are parallel with each other. If some glue squeezes out to the side, it's okay, especially with this system, because you want these little ears to be glued on to the model. Sometimes if they don't get glued on, they rotate. Let's make sure we align these with our lines. Seat. Alright, so this should be good. As we can see now, we're going to try it into our model former, model base former. Make sure we have enough room. And as we can see, we do. I know from this angle it's kind of hard to see the front, but we do have room in the front also. You see? Just have to make sure it seats properly and it does not tilt or wobble. Next step is we're going to put separator on the dowel pins and the model and everything, and then we will pour the stone into this model former and then put it on the vibrator and kind of vibrate the stone all the way around these little pins until this seats in, and then we let it set. Okay, so let's put away our dowel pins. Everything is glued on. We have our models and pins nice and straight. Now we need the separator. This is a spray separator. We will spray it all over the bottom of this model to make sure that it does not stick onto our base. So let's get I always like to vacuum mix my things, so let's vacuum mix it. And we have a little postal scale. kind of old school. So we can put this on, then we can actually adjust this to zero it out. Okay, so here, once we zeroed it out, you see, measures it. It's accurate enough for stone. So we'll do 150 grams. This way we end up not wasting too much material. Okay, it's about 150. Now we're going to mix some water. This we can mix a little bit more runny because we need it to run all the way around the pins. So we mix it for about 30 seconds or so. Then we're going to use the vibrator here. And this will help us vibrate the stone in the little nooks and crevices. Okay. And I'll turn on the vibrator a bit. We'll vibrate the stone off the instruments. Now we're going to take the mold. We're going to put it on the vibrator and slowly fill with the stone. Can spray this. Don't forget to spray this with some separator. Let it soak it in there a little bit. Then we're gonna blow it off with some air. fill this up a little bit more. Just fill this up a little bit more, and now we're very carefully going to place this right into the center, just like this, and just do it from one side to the other. Don't push it all the way down at once. Adjust it a little bit if we need to. We make sure that there's enough stone everywhere. If we need a little bit more, we can add a little more here. Okay, now we just let it set